you realize, this person isn't for me. 1. We were engaged and I got introduced at a party of work people as her friend. 2. When he hit his head against a brick wall because he was angry at me. 3. She admitted she used to talk softly so I couldn't hear her, while she knew I have hearing issues with really bad tinnitus. 4. I was going to my friend's punk show at the local record store/bookstore. He was driving and complained the whole way about how he didn't understand why I was wasting money on a temporary experience, because it cost $8 to get in. Mind you, he wasn't even going, just dropping me off, so it wasn't like he was paying $8. I tried to explain to him that it was just $8 and I was happy to support my friends, plus I'd get a night of fun doing something I'd never done before since I never go anywhere or do anything because he didn't want to. He just went on and on about how he didn't get why I'd want to do something like that when it'd just be over in a few hours. He just kept repeating that it was temporary. I finally turned to him and said, life is a temporary experience, so I'm going to enjoy mine while I have it. When he told me that was stupid, I told him, we have very different views on life. I think we're just fundamentally incompatible people.
What's the most bizarre thing you've ever overheard in public? Once in a coffee shop, I overheard a guy explaining how he faked an accent for 3 years of his relationship. He was talking to a friend, super casual, like it was just some weird anecdote. He says, yeah man, I met her while I was studying abroad in Ireland, so I used the accent as a joke at first. But she loved it, like really loved it, so I kept doing it. His friend was like, you kept the accent for the entire relationship? The guy goes, 3 years, met her parents with the accent, got a job interview using it. I basically became Irish, except I'm from Milwaukee. Apparently, he tried to drop the accent gradually, but she noticed and accused him of losing his roots. He panicked and made up a fake story about trauma making his accent fade under stress. I sat there sipping my latte, listening like I was in a Netflix miniseries and his friend going nuts over the story. He ended the story with, we broke up last week. She found my driver's license and freaked out. I don't get how people even get themselves into situations like this in the first place, because that's probably the most dramatic breakup story I've ever heard. That too caused by an
people that divorced for reasons other than cheating. What was the last straw? 1. I spent hours cooking his favorite meal and dessert, at his request, while cleaning and tidying up, straight after getting home from working a 12-hour shift. He was between jobs at the time. I served dinner, sat down, and he pointed out that I forgot to get the drinks. I told him I was exhausted and too tired to get back up. He said no problem, got up, poured his own drink and sat back down. I asked where my drink was and he said in a sarcastic tone, I'm too tired to get back up, then proceeded to enjoy his meal. I realized in that moment that I deserved much better. 2. She snorted our mortgage, car payment, credit card payments, and lied about it all. 3. Not me, but my mom's ex-husband wrapped their car around a tree driving home drunk, crawled to the front step, and passed out on it. She stepped over him to get to work and came home with divorce papers that day. Thank goodness he was her first husband and not my dad. 4. He said as a threat, maybe we should get a divorce. I said, I agree. Let's do it. It was one of his go-to things to say when we had disagreements and I got sick of it.